Yeah, so Skyharbour is a uranium exploration and development company with projects scattered throughout the prolific Athabasca Basin, which is in northern Saskatchewan, one of the best mining jurisdictions globally. The thing that's unique about the Athabasca Basin is the high-grade nature of the uranium deposits there. It's the highest grade in the world. If you look at it on a grade equivalence with other metals, other commodities, it's really unparalleled. It's a real geological anomaly. So that's one of the main reasons we're focused in the Athabasca Basin. We have 5 projects covering 250,000 hectares, a very large property package. Again, property scattered throughout. We have projects that are in the basin with your traditional unconformity style targets, but projects with basement hosted targets as well outside the basin. People is an important ingredient for the success of any of these exploration companies, and Skyharbour, we've assembled a top tier management and technical team. Our head geologist, a gentleman named Rick Kazmersky, or Radioactive Rick, he's really one of the cornerstone people we have on the team, geologist with over 40 years of Athabasca Basin focused expertise. He knows how to go out there and find these high-grade deposits. Before Skyharbour, he ran a company called JNR, where he made a high-grade discovery at a project called Moore Lake. This is a project now that we've reacquired with Skyharbour from Denison. JNR was ultimately acquired by Denison. Denison is actually Skyharbour's largest strategic shareholder, very close working relationship with Denison. Dave Cates, who's the president and CEO of Denison Mines, is on the Skyharbour board. The flagship property and the focus for the company in terms of the exploration dollars being spent, and really our best shot at making that next high-grade discovery in the Athabasca Basin is a project called Moore Lake. Project has seen a lot of historical exploration and drilling. It's a big property, over 35,000 hectares. It's located on the eastern side of the Athabasca Basin, proximal to Denison's flagship project, the Wheeler project, so there's a lot of operational synergies there when we're drilling. But this project has had a lot of historical work, and there's known high-grade mineralization on the project at what's called the Maverick Zone. This is the area that Rick and his team previously at JNR went in the early 2000s and made a high-grade discovery there. We're giving it a new look. We're drilling back into the high-grade zone, looking for to expand that zone, but also testing the basement potential. A lot of the previous drilling was focused in and around the unconformity, looking for unconformity style mineralization. We are also looking for that, but we're also going to be looking for these feeder zones. And this is where you really have the potential for significant high-grade discoveries, real upside exploration potential. So we have a good game plan. We're going to be testing a few other targets along strike, and in future drill programs, we will be testing other areas, other targets on the project. There's a lot of mineralization here, a lot of upside potential, and we're looking to unlock that with Rick and his team carrying out the work over the next few years. The company also has 4 other projects, and these projects are important because we can look to employ what's called the prospect generator model. This is using other people's money to come in, forge strategic partnerships to come in and fund the exploration at these projects to earn a stake in these projects. We maintain a minority interest, so we still maintain upside exposure through discovery and exploration success that they have, but we also get cash in stock from these deals, which we can use to fund the main drilling at Moore Lake, used to subsidize that drilling, that exploration. And this is important. This de-risks the company. The prospect generator model is a well-known model in the exploration industry. It works. It's led to many discoveries. The key thing there is having these strategic partnerships with companies with deep pockets that can fund the exploration. And I believe we're just starting to see the early stages of the next bull market for uranium. And timing really is everything. The important thing for us is having the company positioned to take advantage of this turnaround in the uranium market. We've done a good job of that. We will continue to do that. You need to see the price move back up above $30, $35 before a lot of the production that's out there starts making money. In fact, the average all-in cost of production globally is in the low 40s. And then when you look at the incentive new mine build price, the price that we need to see for companies to go out there and raise capital to develop mines, bring new production online, a lot of the analysts are forecasting $55 to $60 uranium, more than double where it is currently, to incentivize new mine builds. We already have a supply deficit in the uranium market. That deficit's being met by secondary supply, a lot of secondary supply that's hit the market in the last few years, hence the reason the price has depreciated as much as it has. But that changes. Eventually you'll get into a situation where the secondary supply dries up and there's not enough mine supply out there. We know on the demand side, new reactors are being built globally, in particular in places like China, in India, in the Middle East. There's 60 reactors under construction right now, hundreds more in the pipeline that are proposed, planned, and these reactors are coming online. It's an important part to the energy mix going forward. Nuclear is still the only baseload power that is CO2 free. And that's important in places like China and India, where pollution is a significant problem. They're dealing with that, and the solution, along with renewables, is nuclear as that baseload CO2 free power source. So we will see that continue, the demand continue to grow, and it's the supply side that's the issue. The mining companies aren't bringing on enough new supply to meet that growing demand and that future demand. And that's really where Skyharbour fits into the mix from a macro sense, is we're looking to find high-grade uranium deposits in the Athabasca Basin that can provide long-term secure supply for nuclear utilities going forward all over the world. Our team is geared towards making new discoveries, expanding current known high-grade zones like what we have at the Maverick zone right now at our flagship Moore Lake project, and really that's where the value creation comes for us, for our shareholders, through the discovery process. That's what Rick and his team know best.
My name is Rick Kosmierski. I'm the head geologist for Skyharbour, and technical advisor and a director of the company. And I've been in this business now for over 40 years. We started out as a very small junior about 3 years ago. And since then we've expanded. We're focusing on the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan. We're obviously looking for uranium. And so we're looking in uranium country. I mean, the richest deposits in the world are in the basin. In fact, our #1 project now is called Moore Lake, and it's an interesting project. We optioned it from Denison. The irony is that Denison got it from JNR when they took JNR out, and I ran JNR for about 13 years. And there is mineralization on the property, currently in something called the Maverick Zone. And there are also, it's a very anomalous, uranium anomalous property. There's a dozen grids out there over conductive zones, and they're all always kicking. And you know, our ultimate objective obviously is to prove up a uranium deposit. And that's what all juniors, you know, juniors do, prove up deposits. So that's what we're up to.
Right. We're really pleased that Skyharbour is optioning the Moore Lake property from us. It's really a perfect combination when you think about it. You're right, your technical team has a history on the project that we couldn't replicate from any other company out there in the market. We like your energy, we like what you're trying to do with the brand. For us, you know, it's really a unique deal because it's a property that we like. And so it's hard for us to think about optioning properties that we like. But the reality was we're so focused on developing at Wheeler River and becoming the next producer that we had to make decisions on some of our properties and say, look, this is a project that we'd work, but it's probably not going to get worked from us in the next 2 or 3 years. So should we leave it on the shelf, or do we find the right kind of partner that can work it with the right kind of energy and attitude and maybe lead to a discovery? And if at the end of the day there's a discovery, we're vested in Skyharbour, we're vested in Moore Lake, we're a leader in the eastern Athabasca, so a discovery in the east is a good thing for Skyharbour, it's a good thing for Denison. You know, it's really a very unique deal that we've put together for both of our companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here at the Moore Lake Uranium Project in northern Saskatchewan, Skyharbour's flagship project. As you can see behind me, the drill rig. We're using high-tech drilling. They've been a great group to work with. I want to let Dave talk a little bit about the driller, high-tech, the drill rig we're using. I think this is important. You got to remember, a lot has changed with the technology and the methodologies being used to make these discoveries in the Athabasca Basin, just even in the last decade.
Yeah, this is a modern drill rig that that high-tech are using. Probably this model would be maybe 3-4 years old. Currently, with the technology that high-tech are using in their productivity, our cost will run a little under $250 right now. And that's what a lot of what geology is just sort of organic, and exploration is organic growth. So coming back to the project after a hiatus of 7 or 8 years has been really good for Rick and I, and we've got some new ideas for this project and this area. You have to understand that the geochemistry, I talked about the sandstone geochemistry a bit, but when you look at the basement geochemistry here, when we first started working here, we thought that, you know, we'll just go and use the regular background geochemistry as anomalous thresholds. And well, when we got here, we took it to our geochemist, and he goes, "Guys, it's all anomalous."
Wow. And so, yeah, no, this is a great experience, and thank you.
Well, thank you. It's a great pleasure to be back here. This is a fabulous problem.
Yeah.